And I'm also being joined at this point by T. Krishna Prasad, who is not just the TDP MP, but also a former top cop who has been very closely associated with traffic regulations, with accidents for that matter. He even formulated a policy. Thank you very much, Mr. T. Krishna Prasad, for joining us. My first question to you, sir, what do you make out of this data of the road death rate that has just emerged?
Yeah, see, basically when the roads are increasing, the vehicles are increasing, and the road users are increasing, the probability of road accidents increasing also normally should happen. But question is, when we know it is going to happen, how are we going to measure? How are we going to control it? How are you going to reduce it? So looking at the absolute numbers is not the way to look at it. What we need to look at is number of casualties. I will not look at the number of accidents. I will look at the number of casualties per, let us say, 1 lakh kilometers length or so many vehicles. So that is a real measurement of looking what is actually happening. Any which way you see, it is very, very alarming. The number of road accidents are going up and the graph is going out of the page. And more importantly, the casualties are growing very, very high. Now, why the casualties are going so high and why is that we are not able to control that? So if you look at that part, what we have already mentioned several times in all the road safety meetings is that human behavior is a primer factor that is giving the basic reason why we are not responsible drivers or responsible road user in our country. That's the first thing. Second thing is, given an impact or given a collision, given a road accident, per accident, how many casualties are taken? That is a ratio or the statistic is what we need to look at. We should reduce that. We should reduce the number of casualties per accident. For example, if it is 0.36 per accident this year, next year it should be 0.33, and the next year it should be 0.3. So we are not conscious about this particular statistic or parameter, number of casualties per collision. So this is unfortunately growing up.
But Mr. Krishna, you are really part of the government now. Your party is part of the government at the center. Something has to change. Something must change.
Right. We will be meeting up shortly with the concerned ministries. There are two ministers connected in this matter, as I mentioned to you. One is the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, MORTH, and second is the Ministry of Health. So I will be meeting both the honorable ministers and giving my concerns as to how to increase the availability, whether it is in the form of ambulances or trauma care centers or Good Samaritan law. These things have to be further sharpened and the infrastructure has to be increased. I will certainly take up these matters with the concerned ministers. And I'm hoping that I'm very, very confident that something much more stronger will come up.
Right. Mr. Krishna Prasad, we are going to take you on that, but is there a way to look at states which are the worst, which are the best?
One important factor that causes or increases the casualties, as I told you, if you look at the statistic of casualties per accident or 100 accidents, the speed with which the vehicles are traveling or that the speed at which the impact has taken place is directly proportional to the casualties. So we have states which we can literally measure the speed with which some states travel on the roads and the speed, and some states travel at a lower speeds. So those states which are traveling at very high speeds, let us say more than 80 kilometers per hour, or more than 100, more than 120 kilometers per hour, in these states, when a collision takes place, when an accident takes place, the number of casualties tend to be more than other states. So looking at this particular thing, you can make out. I don't want to create any alarm anywhere. You can make out which are the states where the average speed of the vehicles is much higher, and which are the states where the average speed is less.
Okay, but still, if you can give us a sense state-wise, it would just maybe help our viewers better as well.
You have seen Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra suffering on this part. And it's not that they have not done anything. They have done a lot to create awareness to reduce the speed. It's just that the roads are fantastic in these places. The roads are designed to take 140 kilometers per hour. People who have fantastic vehicles, they come with vehicles which are having very, very strong zooming and booming engines, which will go
Right.
up to 150 kilometers per hour.
Right.
And we have seen, unfortunately, we have seen very, very important people of this country losing their lives on National Highway NH48, where we lost our one of the most important industrialist of the country, Mr. Cyrus.
Right. Mr. T. Krishna Prasad, thank you very much for joining us. And of course, we'll hold you to account as you assure us and promise us that you will be taking this up with the central government as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, speed thrills or road design kills, we leave you to decide that. But this is a reality across India, and you need to wake up to this. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's time for a very short break. On the other side, we'll bring you all the latest.